Hoping you guys can hear me. Looks like I got some traction. Hi, guys. Welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. My name is Artieka, and today I am reviewing Married to Medicine, Season 12, Episode 2. That episode is titled, just a second, I didn't have it written down in my notes. Makeups and breakups. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. So, um, this, sorry, y'all. Hi, V. I am recording this live for members only, and it'll go out probably tomorrow for everyone else. So, I know it seems strange to see me on here recording. I didn't want to edit anything, so I'm gonna just get that out the way. So Married to Medicine, season 12, episode 2, makeups and breakups. Um, I did write myself a note. It says, now before I get started, I read something about people not wanting people that are married to medicine to leave the show. Meaning they want to get rid of Quad. But then they also say that they want to get rid of Jackie and Simone. And then they also say they want to get rid of Heavenly. So when people say that they want to get rid of all these characters for whatever reason, I'm like, y'all want Toya and Contessa. That's it. Because this has been a very, very, very difficult cast to kind of make your way and infiltrate as a new person. Because what I have heard is some of the cast members become like new cast members. Um, just throwing out one being like Dr. Alicia, the dentist. Or was she married to the dentist? I think she was a dentist. She still hangs out with them, but they let her go from the show. I think that all of the original cast is needed in some way. Um, I know that the Mariah issue was more with Bravo than with the whole cast. Because if they can get back along with Heavenly every season, they can get along with Mariah. But once it becomes like the Nene against Bravo, NBC Universal, and like Mariah against Bravo, NBC Universal, it doesn't matter if you work for the cast. They don't care. So, I just had to get that out because it was something that I kept seeing online. Um, I said, y'all want Heavenly and Toya yelling at each other and Toya buying houses for a full season because that's all we're gonna get with them. Anywho, starting from the beginning of the episode. So, Toya and Eugene, they're rehashing Steve and Mimi's Polo Classic. Toya says that Heavenly didn't show up, and we go to Heavenly talking to Dr. Daddy. She shares her website and that she's running for state representative. Um, Basically, this is one of those side by side situations where Toya and Eugene are having a conversation about the exact same thing that Heavenly and Dr. Damon are having a conversation about. So Heavenly and Dr. Damon are talking about her running for office and this is my website. The people need me. And Toya is like, how you gonna ignore how messy she is and be okay with her running for office? So it is what it is there. Um Heavenly tells Dr. Damon that she's a public figure and that he can't keeping secrets about Damon Jr. And we know that the big thing with Heavenly this season, I'm sorry, Toya this season so far, even though we're only 2 episodes in, is that she wants to make sure that Heavenly has very public conversations about what happened with Damon Jr., meaning Damon Jr. got arrested. Um we don't really know what started everything to lead to him getting arrested, but we also know that his dad took care of it, did not tell Heavenly what happened. And Heavenly lets us know that when she found out what happened, she came in the house and she cussed everybody out. And Damon Jr. left the house. He was like, I don't have to take this. And he left and she hadn't seen him in months. Um, your adult son has you get mad at him about something that happened 2 years ago, no matter how big or small it is, he can say, "Hey, I don't have to take this. I'm leaving." And I'm sure he Damon is not letting him be out here in the streets. You can tell that that man has a soft spot for his kids. So I'm absolutely sure he probably living in Alora's apartment or something because they paid the rent on it or the mortgage on it because they bought her something. And they might be doing the same. He might be living in that rental property. Who knows? But apparently Damon feels like he's okay, and we're not going into this whole thing with Heavenly making him mad. She did ask Damon to ask him to come home, and he said, "I can't do that." So we go to Scott and Contessa's to check out the progress on the renovation of their new building. So they were renting a building, they bought a building, they let the lease run out on the building that they were renting because they thought that the clinic that they purchased would be ready. It is not. They have been telling people 2 more weeks for like 3 or 4 months at this point. So with the price of the building, Scott says he thinks it can be done at $1.5 million. Contessa seems to think that it's going to be $1.8 million. As a person who has never bought a commercial space, but I have bought a home, I know that things take longer than they're supposed to, even simple things. And I don't want to call this a simple thing, but I had a time where we had a water main burst in our driveway. It took them 24 hours to fix the water main. Cool, no problem. But then they laid concrete down and they never came back to take the frame from around the concrete for my new driveway. So something as simple as just coming to pick up a frame that you guys put down has not happened. And we're almost at a year since the water main burst. Um, but they're like Contessa was like, the toilet hasn't been installed. It's been sitting in the hallway, like in the entryway to the place for like weeks. It's just, it seems like it's a lot. And I also feel like this project is on the back burner because there was nobody there working when they went to go film. Like it should have been somebody in there saying, excuse me, pardon me for the dust. But we had none of that. We go back to Toya. Toya and Simone are going to have micro needling done by Brandy, who is the new medicine wife. Brandy has a med spa essentially, and Simone don't know anything about micro needling, but she along for the ride because we have to find a way to introduce Brandy into this show. So, Toya being the most housewife of the housewives, makes sense that Toya would go in to take someone else, which is her closest alliance this season, it seems, Simone, to go get this micro needling done. So while they're there, we do find out that Brandy used to work for Dr. Damon. So I guess this is a rotation of the friends because everybody has worked for Dr. Damon. Nobody has anything bad to say about Dr. Damon. So that's at least a good sign. But I guess who came in through Heavenly? Dr. Alicia came in through Heavenly. I feel like Dr. Mimi came in through Heavenly too. So it's about time that somebody else brings a new friend in, even if the connection is truly through Damon and Dr. Heavenly. Um So while they're in there in the office about to get ready to have their micro needling done, Toya gets a call that says her dog Bentley passed away. They found Bentley dead in the pool. Um, and we go on and we gonna have a funeral for Bentley. I'm sorry, not Bentley, Bailey. Bailey. We're having a funeral for Bailey. Um, prior I've never been to a dog funeral. I've seen people have like backyard services for an animal. I I have friends who have gotten their animals' paw prints placed in like I don't even know what it's called. You know, with how they do the baby handprints, they did a paw print and gave them something to remember the deceased animal by. But a full on service where they asked other people to bring their dogs and it was literally set up as a funeral service. Very on brand for Toya. But Toya did say, have you ever been to a baby shower for a Birkin bag? And Eugene was like, all right, I see your point. So one thing Toya knows how to do is spend $1. I ain't mad at it. I wish they stopped moving so much, but I'm not mad at her knowing how to spend $1. So after that, they have an event that Jackie asks all the ladies to dress sexy for. Now, the back half of the event where they had to talk through their things and their questions with each other, very on brand for Jackie. Felt very much so like a lemon squeeze. Um, Jackie having a sexy event where you got dress sexy and we're gonna do sexy dances. Not very Jackie. It should have been like a joint effort, like uh Jackie and Quad putting this together, or Quad is actually the only one that I could see being one to put on the let's dress and have a sexy dance event. Cause she also seemed the most comfortable at this event. So there's that. So it's a dancing heels class, and the class went well without any arguments or disagreements during the actual class. And then Jaxie wants them to talk about being better people and better friends. So she asked a question about snooping in your man's phone. So he was like, me, I be looking. Um, she said that her daddy was cheating on her mama, and if her mama would never look, she would not have ever found out. So she looks so that if something is happening, she can find out and act accordingly. Eugene worked too much to be cheating on Sawyer like that. Let's see. So Simone and Quad, the conversation about the party comes back up again. Jackie told Simone, you would not have even come to this party had she given you a timely invitation, like not a day of invite, but an actual timely invitation. And Simone said that's not true. Um, they start yelling at each other. I want to know, you know how sometimes you can kind of find out the things that are going on behind the scenes of the show. I want to know what exactly was the point that Simone decided she wasn't fooling with Quad anymore, because the beef seems to be more so coming from Simone's side. But we also know that Quad is very on camera. I'm going to kill you with kindness. And that's not a negative thing by any means. Simone just can't do that. She's got to let Quad know where you had her messed up. And it just doesn't make sense. V is in the live with me. She says Simone is giving jealous. It does feel like jealousy. Um, the little conversation that she had when she did Sweet Tea's channel, where Sweet Tea was like, I'm almost done paying off Quad house. And Simone said, well, who gonna help Quad pay off her house? I believe I said this in the last video that I did for episode 1. Quad was with a man for years, not spending a dime of her own money to exist. She spent her money to do things. She had an exit strategy. She was saving her money. She was still bringing in money from this show, and she is a top earner because Quad has not missed a season. She might have missed some episodes, but she has not missed a season yet of this show. And she, unlike the other ladies, she doesn't have children who she's putting through private school. She doesn't have a husband spending her money, because that's what people love to say about Cecil and Simone. Um, it's just she don't have the thing. She's not moving every other season like Toya them are, where they're not getting a lot of money in escrow. So if she put a substantial amount of money down on her home, I believe Quad can't afford her mortgage. Quad also has to understand that this money train can end. So hopefully she's treating it like it can end. But she's also been around a lot of the Atlanta it girls who are probably advising her on things to do with her money to make sure that she can afford the lifestyle that she is accustomed to and continue living the way that she wants to. But I remember, I believe it was on the show that they said she had to put down a really big down payment on the house. And I'm like, who cares? If she was buying a $1.5 million house and she had 500,000 to put down on it, by all means, sister, you got more than me. Go you, do you like make that money, keep that money, get that house because that's the house that you wanted. But I mean, it is what it is. Her home and things shouldn't be a point of contention for Simone. So, eventually, after all the yelling, Quad grabs Simone's hand, tells her to hear her out. They apologize. Simone says she feels like Quad shut her out. And yeah, maybe she did. I don't know. But they all say this about Quad. They're like, when filming is done, Quad is done with them. Be her friend the 4 months of the year that y'all are filming and then stop being her friend. Don't expect more from her than what you've been getting. If that's what it's been like since season 1, why are you expecting something different in season 12? Unless an event happened that changed that. And then you have to start thinking, what did I do to change this dynamic? Because it has to be something that was done. Anywho, after that, they have a big group hug, and then Heavenly brings up that she's running for state representative, and she told Toya specifically, she didn't just anybody else in that room. She said, Toya, if you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to address them. Toya said, how you gonna be state representative and you can't be friends? You can't hear the people in your friend group. Heavenly was like, do you even know what a state representative does? None of this is about friends. This is about making decisions for the people. I can do that, but I can't deal with y'all like this. And that turns into a yelling match. Um, at the same time that they're having this yelling match, we get to see the husbands. That is one thing that I do like about Married to Medicine versus the Real Housewives shows. These women are married for the most part. I think Quad is the only one that is not married, but she does have a significant other this season. The guys are getting together, and Shamar, who is Brandy's husband, asked them for advice. And Eugene was like, you need to be on your wife's side no matter what. And Curtis was like, nah, nah. If your wife wrong, you need to be not be on her side. And he was relating this specifically to what Toya had said about him having his hands on the other women. Um, Eugene didn't feel like Toya was wrong in that instance. He said she was asked the question and she answered truthfully. I think that that should have been a conversation that she had with um Curtis and Jackie. And Curtis is taking it as you not my wife. I'm not gonna address it with you. I'm just not gonna fool with you. Which was what he did at the Polo Classic. He did not come and talk to Toya at all. And Toya's like, I think he's upset with me. Duh, read the room. You done got on TV and talked about this man who has already been busted for cheating on this show. And you gonna say he just be touching the wives on the show? Girl, I wouldn't talk to you either. Like, this is TV. And the thing is with this, Curtis not getting paid to be on this show. So Curtis can say, or Curtis can feel however he wants to feel. And he doesn't have to talk to you because his association with you is not contingent on Jackie making her money from this show. So for that, it is what it is. Um, that's pretty much all I got for that one. At the end of the guys' roundtable, Damon told the guys that Heavenly was running for state representative. I don't even remember what their like feelings were about it. Most of them are not in her district. And I believe that Heavenly is not running for state representative anymore. She changed her um oh gosh. is it? She's running for Congress, District 13 of Congress in Georgia, which, if I'm not mistaken, most of them live like on the Fulton County side. And Heavenly's district covers like Rockdale, parts of DeKalb, parts of Henry, parts of Clayton County, and none of them live out there. So most of what you're seeing with them supporting her is purely performative because they can't vote for her because they don't live where she lives. But also on top of that, I don't understand why this is a point of contention for Toya because Toya, you can't vote for her. Let's move on. You don't think it's a good idea, and that's fine. Why are we arguing about that? Go back to the Damon Jr. thing if you're gonna find something to argue with Heavenly about. Anywho, that's Married to Medicine, season 12, episode 2. I am also going to be putting out Real Housewives of Potomac at some point later on today. In addition to that, my husband and I are going to be doing Ready to Love together. I know, episode 6 came on Friday night. With episode 6 coming on, that means we are behind. So we're going to try to do 1 or 2 videos and catch up to present day, and then we'll get those out. We're not going to do like we did the last season where we came back in at the second half of the season, but we're going to get all those videos out for Ready to Love. I'm going to get these Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine videos up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.